All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. We're going to get right into this video.
But an experiment is not a public opinion poll. It examines behavior under the pressure of social forces, as the experiment of Solomon Asch reveals.
The experiment you'll be taking part in today involves the perception of lengths of lines. As you can see here, I have a number of cards, and on each card there are several lines. Your task is a very simple one. You're to look at the line on the left and determine which of the three lines on the right is equal to it in length. All right, we'll proceed in this order. You'll give your answer.
Only one of the people in the group is a real subject, the fifth person with the white t-shirt. The others are confederates of the experimenter and have been told to give wrong answers on some of the trials. The experiment begins uneventfully as subjects give their judgments.
2, 2,
2,
2,
2, 3,
3, 3, 3,
But on the third trial, something happens.
2, 2,
2,
2, 2.
The subject denies the evidence of his own eyes and yields to group influence.
1.
Asch found subjects went along with the group on 37% of the critical trials. But he found through interviews that they went along with the group for different reasons.
1.
1. They must be right. There are 4 of them and 1 of me. 1.
This subject's yielding is based on a distortion of his judgment. He genuinely believes that the group is correct.
1.
1,
1.
2,
1. 2. 2.
2,
I know they're wrong, but why should I make waves?
2,
In this case, the subject knows he is right, but goes along to avoid the discomfort of disagreeing with the group. Here, the distortion is at the level of his response.
2,
2.
2,
2.
In the previous experiment, the naive subject stood alone against the group. In this variation, Asch gave the naive subject a partner, here seated in the third position, who also gives the correct response.
1. 1.
2,
1. 2.
With a partner, yielding drops to only 5% of the critical trials compared to 37% without a partner. Although subjects report warmth and good feeling toward the partner, they typically deny that he played a role in their own independence. The partnership variation shows that much of the power of the group came not merely from its numbers, but from the unanimity of its opposition. When that unanimity is punctured, the group's power is greatly reduced. Sometimes we go along with the group because what they say convinces us they are right. This is called informational conformity. But sometimes we conform because we are apprehensive that the group will disapprove if we are deviant. This is called normative conformity. The strength of the normative factor is shown in another variation carried out by Asch. In this variation, the subject is told that because he had arrived late, he would have to write his answers. Subjects in this private response experiment are exposed to the same amount of misleading information as other subjects, but they are immune from any possible criticism by the group.
1,
1. 1.
And this enormously reduces the pressure to conform. Conformity drops by 2/3. Asch's experiment is a classic. It reveals how people will deny what they see and submit to group pressure. It allows us not only to observe conformity, but to study the conditions that increase or reduce its occurrence.
Alright, so, as you can see through that experiment, that was a conformity experiment, right? So, we know that this type of experiment was Slaki. We know that that type of experiment was also performed on a mass scale during 2020. of CV, right? Now, what was the motto during CV? The sentence that a lot of people said, it was do the right thing. The devil will use peer pressure, right, and coercement to deceive you into doing the wrong thing, thinking you're doing the right thing, right? However, for us of those in the truth and who stood firm for Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, despite all the things that were going on, like possibly losing our jobs, possibly losing our house, right? And just even losing friendships over this, or possibly losing friendships over this, we still stood firm for Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, right? For it says that you must not love the world, right? Well, let's get out the scripture right here. 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Right? So during the CV pandemic, you seen that the love of the world was in many people, to the point that they were willing to take a jab so they didn't have to lose their house, so they didn't have to lose their girlfriend, or also known as their wife, so they didn't have to lose their children. Right? So if you love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Right? And we know this truth is for Israel. Salvation is to the Israelites only. Now let's go to the scripture right here. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 17. Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. Right. During the jab, what happened was there was a great separation. Those who took the jab and those who did not take the jab. And there will be a great separation once again. Those who took the C-hip and those who did not take the C-hip. Alright? The devil will use the motto once again of doing the right thing. The devil will say, oh, also when I say the devil, just know I also mean evil E too. Right? Because evil E was trying to coerce people to take the jab, right? So E will also say that you're doing the right thing, right? When he comes out with the C-hip to display it, right? He'll say that if you don't take the C-hip, you are not going forward into the future, right? He will do everything it takes to get you to take the C-hip. Right? But we know that those that love the world will take the C-hip. Those who don't, and when I say those who don't, I'm talking about specifically about Yasharallah. The elect will not take the C-hip. Right? So we gotta keep praying, brethren. Because the first time with the CV, that was a pre-trial. That's going to be kindergarten compared to the times that's going to come upon the whole world. Let's get Revelation chapter 12, verse 2. As a matter of fact, let's get Revelation chapter 13, verse 6. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Right. So this is why this next test of the C-hip, and there's going to be probably another lockdown, right, with another jab, is going to be much greater, because the thing is, you're going to see people of high rank, like judges, actors, celebrities, big YouTubers, and on the high end, and people on the low end, like perhaps your friends, your family, and just your average everyday citizen, have the CHIP. Now, with all these people taking the CHIP in those days, we must not conform, just like the experiment we seen in the video. The guy conformed after thinking he was wrong after just 2 attempts. Right? We can't be like that, brethren. For 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11, it says right here, 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Let's get out the scripture. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. Right. So Satan, the devil, which of course his counterpart is evil E, will be using these devices, but we are not ignorant of it. All right. We know not to deal with any of this devil, also known as evil E, sorcery, right? And we must not conform, but be set apart. I'm gonna get one last scripture. It says in Revelation, it says in Romans chapter 12, verse 2, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Right. So we need to constantly renew our mind, especially for the times that are coming. Because during the times of the CV, what happened? We are renewing our mind in Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai and strengthening our faith. It will be ever so much more in these times when the CHIP becomes a device that will excommunicate people from society, and you will even have to make a decision to either die for Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, or are you going to give over to the sorcery and coercement of the love of the world that evil E tries to deceive you with? So let's renew our mind so that we may be faithful all the way to the point of death. And Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. I hope this lesson was very edifying. All praise to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, and Shalom.